Airrack may have just changed the way YouTubers create a video series forever. He just finished a 30-day challenge around the world, uploading a new video every single day for 30 days. It landed him on the biggest stage in the entire world next to Ryan Secrest, which is only more so skyrocketing his exposure as millions of people begin searching his name in Google. So today I'm doing a deep dive on Airrack, and it's just a part of a year-long journey to compile strategies from the biggest creators in order to create one ultimate viral video blueprint. So today we are breaking down a 3-step formula that Airrack uses to bring tens of millions of views to every video in this series. So for the last month, Airrack has been posting a video every day for 30 days.
And if I miss a day, my channel gets deleted at the hands of Mr. Beast.
This is a big deal because this is something Ryan Trahan did a little while back, and when he did, his views and subscribers skyrocketed.
Wow.
So I knew, it's time to do a breakdown on Eric Decker, otherwise known as Airrack. So we can't really talk about why this video series has worked without really understanding what is it about each video that works. In order for that to work, he's got to be on the good side of the YouTube algorithm. And being on the algorithm's good side basically means that you're going to help YouTube keep viewers on their platform longer. So Airrack knows that he has to keep you on his videos, and that's super hard because statistically, YouTubers lose 40% of their audience or more in the first 30 seconds. Listen to him talk about that importance right here.
Do you script out the first minute of your video?
Always. If you look at a retention graph on the back end of a video, your biggest drop-off point is from the 0-second mark to the 1-minute mark. That's like you're seeing this huge drop-off of people.
So what is it that Airrack's doing to actually get people to stay, not just at the intro, but throughout the entire video? I call this leaving question and answer markers. And let me illustrate this for you. In one of his recent videos called I Tried Every Luxury Drive-Thru, early on in the video, he introduces this idea that every restaurant they go to, they're going to give a particular rating toward.
This video we're going to be rating on 3 criteria. Number 1, atmosphere. Location, 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 they say. Number 2, service. How good is the service? Are the people nice? And number 3, obviously, the food.
And what this is doing is it's putting questions in your mind already, like,
This is the rating that this restaurant's getting. How does that compare to the other luxury fast food restaurants?
so he's placing a question in your mind at the very beginning. And the only way to find out how each one ranks against each other is to stay until the end. But that's not the only question that he's raising. Watch this.
No way, bro. That's a McDonald's? I can eat everything on this menu.
$5 grand right now.
$5 grand and I can eat everything on the menu or not? I'm gonna lose $5 grand if I don't?
I will double it.
What?
What?
That's oh, okay, let me look at it. I'll shake your hand in there depending on the menu. That's a lot of money.
So now, of course, we have the question of, will he get the 10 grand? Will he eat every item on the menu? So these are more like foundational questions. They affect the plot of the video. But he's also asking some much smaller questions throughout the video, like,
We, right now, are on our way to a very special place. I've kept Tyler completely in the dark on this video until right now.
I'm starving. I'm so hungry.
So I'm not going to tell you guys where we're going. I'm just going to record Tyler's reaction to when we pull up.
So the only way to find out where they're going is to watch.
And if you thought that I was excited about Pizza Hut, you haven't seen me at the world's most luxurious time.
And turns out they ended up going to Taco Bell, but we had to find out 15 seconds later where they were actually going. And if we look at these question and answers on a timeline, you can see these chunks of time where a certain question is raised and a particular payoff or answer to that question is given. And I like to call these chunks of time retention chunks because you're encouraging people to not leave for that amount of time. And you're constantly asking different questions and giving answers like here, or here's a chunk, or here's another chunk. And that's just on this video alone, but there's way more questions and answers that I'm not even showing right here. A lot of amateur creators will just ask one question and then there's gonna be a payoff at the end, but that's not going to be enough to keep people throughout the entire video. Now let's talk about something that I like to call series hacking. And I call it this because typically series don't work on YouTube. Now, there was a time in fairly recent history that a series did work on YouTube, and that was done by Ryan Trahan. But even with his series, there was a problem. It's a 30-day long series, and it's one continuous storyline. And what that means is you're probably going to get the most viewers at the very top of the story, video number 1, and every video after that, you will likely lose viewers. The best your series can do is based on the success of the very first video. And that's the most ground it's ever gonna get, but Airrack breaks this idea with how he did his series. Hey, by the way, we are doing a breakdown like this every month with a different creator every month, so let me know which creator you want to see broken down next. Let me know in the comments. And also subscribe so you don't miss them. But the thing Airrack did so smart to make this work is every video can and does live on its own. But if that's the case, then why are we even calling it a series? Because this group of videos, whether you call it a series or not, it encourages you to watch all the other videos in this group of videos, whether that means you go backwards or forwards. Where a traditional series, you're just encouraged to go forwards. And what's interesting is if you took out the mentions of this 30-day challenge and completely took that out of the video would still make sense. He bookends each video with the beginning and the end talking about this 30-day series, and we even see in his end screens that he encourages you to go backwards when watching. This really isn't even about this guy uploading a video or creating a video every 30 days. This is more about the master storytelling of Airrack.
Think through the story before you even pick up the camera. Don't even pick up the camera until you have a general storyline in your head. So that means, like, we call that packaging. So like, what's your title? What's your thumbnail? What's the first 1 minute of your video look like? If you can figure those things out, the rest of the video will probably be pretty good.
This is his packaging. This 30-day idea is the packaging that he's talking about. And not only does this packaging raise the bingeability like we talked about, but it also raises the stakes, which is important to every story. The raising of the stakes was Mr. Beast possibly deleting his channel, even though there was probably not really any danger of that happening. Whether we are an entertainment-based channel or an education-based channel, how do we create a bigger story and micro stories in between that? For example, we see his macro story being something like Mr. Beast is gonna delete my channel if I don't do this thing. But then if we zoom in, we can actually see multiple stories, 30 different stories in that macro story. And just focusing on this one in particular story or video, there's actually micro stories in between this, and that is when his friend talked about eating every single McDonald's menu item. So for yourself, no matter what niche you're in, I encourage you to ask yourself, how do I raise new questions or introduce new storylines, whether that be a macro storyline or a micro storyline? But if you like this video, make sure to get subscribed because we're doing a new breakdown every single month, and you can also download the ever-expanding Ultimate Viral Video Blueprint. Because every time I break down one of these creators, all of what I learned gets dumped into this one central place, and it's a resource that I use and hopefully you can use as well. You can get it for free in the description.